Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Leader of the opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi today displayed the unpublished memoir of former Army Chief MM Naravane in the Parliament premises, saying that he would personally hand over a copy of Four Stars of Destiny to Prime Minister Narendra Modi if he comes to the Lok Sabha. Now, Gandhi even cited excerpts from the memoir, asserting that the contents of the book reveal the truth about the government's response during the face-off in eastern Ladakh in October 2020. Now, Lok Sabha saw repeated adjournments during the day as opposition members continued with constant sloganeering. Now, the big question is the government running away from the reality of General Naravane's book? And by further suspending the 8 MPs and not allowing LOP Rahul Gandhi to speak, is the budget session staring at a continuous stalemate? Rather, we also saw BJP MP Nishikant Dubey talking about various other books to expose the Gandhi family. And they said that these are certain books which expose the scandals of the Gandhi family. So, what would you say to this episode? The real issue is about the national security, which General Naravane spoke about, and Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, everyone repeatedly kept on saying that this book is not published. And today, Rahul Gandhi walked inside the parliament with the unpublished book. So, is the government really running away from this particular reality, which is fleshed out in Naravane's book? Joining me this evening is Dr. Shama Mohammed, Congress spokesperson. Thank you so much, Shama, for joining. We have TK Raj Lakshmi, who's the senior editor from the Frontline magazine. Thank you so much. And we have Sarvesh Tripathi, who is a Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Thank you so much. I'll begin with Shama. Shama, I'm just trying to understand that what was the point which was being proven by Rahul Gandhi today when he walked with the unpublished book? And in a counter to that, we had Nishikant Dubey talking about books which exposed the Gandhi family's scandals. And he said Red Sari and Bofors Gate book. He made a mention of all that.
First and foremost, I think what you said is wrong, unpublished. When you see that book which Rahul Gandhi had, it clearly shows Penguin, the publisher's name. It's a published book, but it has not been released. There's a difference between not published, unpublished, and not released. So the book was published, it was ready for release, but the government of India saw what is written in it and got scared because the 56 inch ki chati will be exposed. There is no 56 inch ki chati where they were bowing down over there to China. It took 2 hours for us to take a decision, and in the end, Mr. Modi says, Jo bhi hai tum karo. You do whatever you want. That's not what leadership is about. When General Navarane is saying that they are coming in, immediately we should have taken a call and said, no, we can't let them come in. We have to immediately reciprocate. But that was not the call taken. And why? What are they scared of? So it clearly shows that the book is published. Number two, we remember Rajnath Singh taking Maniben Patel's diary last time, if I'm not wrong, and saying Nehru did so and against the Somnath temple, whatever. But so they can take out diaries, they can take out this particular gentleman, Nishikant Dubey. I wouldn't call him a member of parliament also. He's more of a thug. He comes out with various books and he starts quoting from books. How many times they've quoted? Now, why are they not allowing the leader of opposition? Yesterday, when I saw the speaker, or day before, it's like a school. Ab baith jaiye, nahi, ye nahi hoga. This is not the way our parliament used to run. You know, if Mr. Gandhi wants to say something, what are they scared of? And let's understand one thing. Who's written the book? Nobody from the Congress party. We have to give respect to General Navarane. He's at the senior most post and retired from that. So why stop him from saying something which is the truth? And why not speak that in parliament? Even when the Chinese came in, when the Galwan thing happened, did we have the discussion in parliament? We did not. They do not want transparency. Now a trade deal has been signed. Why is the trade deal? What is in it exactly? Where is agriculture? How much is it? Are they getting zero tariffs on everything, including agriculture? We don't know because We have seen tweets, but it is not tabled in Parliament. When there is a session, it's a
Right.
norm. If a deal is signed, it will be tabled in Parliament. And questions arise why there is secrecy. And today, my question is this a democracy or an autocracy?
No, but Shama, I mean, I would like to ask you that what is the biggest issue for the Congress right now? Is it the issue of national security? Is it now about the LOP not being allowed to speak? Is it about the suspension of MPs? And amidst all these issues, we
Which
also
is
have
what
a big issue. Just allow me to ask you the question, and let me finish. That there is a big question on the Indo-US trade deal as well. Various questions are being raised. I'm not getting into that trade deal, but the thing is that today we also saw Rahul Gandhi talking to Ravneet Bittu and calling him a traitor. So there was an impression which went out that the opposition somehow is trying to dilute the issue, or probably they are not focused on what they want to focus. So
no.
I really want you to speak on.
I got your question. So there's no dilution of issue. You have to understand what is in the book is about national security. Right. Everything is connected. The leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, wanted to speak on national security, which is very important, which is quoted in this book. And they did not let him. When we are not allowed to speak, we protest. And when you don't, when the protest is what they were standing outside. And the
Hmm.
trade deal, when we said we want to discuss the trade deal, the government of India clearly said, no, we will not discuss it. So where are we wrong? Isn't it our right as the opposition in this country to know what has happened in the trade deal? Isn't it our right to know what exactly General Navarane is talking and why the delay? We have to know why we didn't reciprocate, but they do not want to discuss anything when they are not able to explain themselves. Why was the China? Why was the Galwan when it happened in 2020? And we lost 20 of our soldiers. Why was it not discussed? Even Pahalgam, okay, there is an intelligence failure. Have we discussed that? We don't discuss any of it. What happened in Pulwama? 42 CRPF killed. Why did that 30 kilo RDX come in there? How did it come? Why haven't we discussed all these intelligence failures? Who is accountable? Let me tell you one thing. In a democracy, accountability is very important. Many people are resigning because of the Epstein files. Many people resigned during the COVID times, many ministers because they were not able to take care of the people. In India, after 2014, nobody resigns. The rail minister never resigns after innumerable accidents. The national security advisor never. He has not resigned after what has happened in Pulwama, Pahalgam, Pathankot. I can just go on. So, Home Minister, Manipur, still there. 2020 riots in Delhi when the President Donald Trump was here, still there. So why is there no accountability after 2014? At least in our time, you remember ministers resigning. So there was an impartial investigation. Even Mr. Teni, when his son killed people in UP, he was the Minister of Home. He did not resign. So, where are resignations? Who is accountable? This is a government which is not accountable. Nobody is accountable here for anything. They can just continue on and on. Where is democracy today in India? Is the question you need to ask everybody.
Right. No, there is no doubt about the fact that the accountability is missing, and all these issues which you pointed out, the government hasn't really answered on all these issues. But coming to you, Sarvesh, you come from the Samajwadi Party as a spokesperson. How do you think that the opposition needs to prioritize the issue? Shama has a point when she says that the democracy is not being allowed. We are not allowed to speak. We are not allowed to protest. But then do you think or do you believe that opposition needs to prioritize the issues also somewhere down the line? Because I mean, of course, the big issue is the national security, then the trade deal. Why were the MPs suspended? These are questions which are staring. So is the budget session staring at a washout? Are we going to see a stalemate like this continuing in the coming weeks as well, or the coming days?
See, the opposition is prioritizing because the national security is of utmost importance for our country. So, the LOP was very unfortunate. The first time LOP was not being heard in the parliament. And the rule they quoted was Rule 349, Clause 1. which says very clearly says, and the country should know this, that a member shall not read any book, newspaper, or letter except in connection with the business of the house. That means that a member can refer to any of these if it is in connection with the business of the house. And what is the business of the house exactly? Our legislation is there to protect the country, and the national security is of utmost importance. So LOP was trying to raise a question, and he was quoting a book written by a former general of the army, who is a very decorated officer. He knows what he's writing, and it was a published book. So it was about indecisive chain of command the country is having right now. So they were scared of it, and they
Yes.
stopped LOP. The Prime Minister of this country has quoted several times the excerpts from Times of India, Hindustan Times, several books. This Nishikant Dubey, I don't want to name him because he's a, he uses filthy language in the parliament itself. Then there's no speaker stopping him. What is the priority of this government? And
Hmm.
about the trade deal, the US trade deal, I would twist the, and that is linked with the Epstein files, rightly linked with the Epstein file. It is very clear. It was on the cards when Epstein file surfaced. I was scared that this US deal will break up now. So I would twist the lines of Bashir Badr Saab के कोई हाथ भी ना मिलाएगा जो गले मिलोगे तपाक से ये तुम भारत के प्रधानमंत्री हो, जरा फासले से मिला करो. तो इन्होंने जो है, ही इज वेरी, हिज hugging credentials is now surfacing, and this trade deal is a disaster for the country
But
and for the national
Sarvesh,
security.
I'll ask Shama also that how do we arrive at a consensus on this particular issue? There's the fact is that there's an unreleased book, and what are the reasons why it hasn't got released? That is one
It
issue.
went into
Please,
review because they were scared. It went into
they were
review.
scared. Now, so how
Yes.
does the opposition now spell out this particular issue? Because the moment Rahul Gandhi will speak, he will not be allowed. If the MPs try some drastic measures, they will be
See,
suspended.
what Rahul Gandhi ji was wanting, he got it. The nation knows it now. Everyone is reading it now. Everyone is aware that this government is scared of this coming out. There in decisive chain of command coming out. So this only. So this is a win for opposition. This is a win of Rahul Gandhi ji. What he wanted, he got it.
Okay,
So
so you are saying that
this
this
made
is
it
a
very
win
clear.
right. So you are saying that this is a win-win situation for Rahul Gandhi. At least the nation now knows what the reality
Yes.
of that situation in 2020 was, when General Naravane was waiting for the directions from the top leadership. Rajalakshmi, I'll come to you now. How do you look at this stalemate which continues? We have the reality, of course, is that 8 MPs have been suspended, whereas there could have been a dialogue rather than taking drastic measures like suspending them. LOP never in the history has been disallowed to speak like this. That's another reality. Then you have the reality of the 2020 situation, what Naravane has described in the book. And then to top it all, why should a book be banned which is written by a former army chief? And then, of course, the trade deal issue. So how would you link up all these issues, and do you think that there can be a consensus? If there is no consensus, then we know for sure that every day, whatever the remaining days are left, you're going to see protests like this happening then.
Yeah, frankly, it's quite unfortunate that things have come to this kind of a pass, because ultimately the onus for a smooth debate on the floor of the House, it it rests on the government of the day. It can't be it can't be expected that the opposition should sort of behave in a particular way so that things move in a smooth manner, etc. I mean, it's the onus does not lie on the opposition. The opposition is bound to ask questions of policy, of the government, and in this case, I think national security. It's not even some routine policy that we are talking about. I mean, it's on serious questions, grave issues of national security, which I don't see any reason why should any government fall shy of answering them. And other than that, the trade deals also, they are pretty much significant. The fact that they were announced on the social media and not in Parliament itself shows that that a lot is happening, behind the scenes, which even forget, the people of this country. I mean, even MPs are not, in the know of. And then the announcement is made, and then the contours of that announcement are not clear. We are told that, we'll be informed subsequently. The MPs also sort of get to know through an announcement made by the Commerce Minister, and again he also seeks to put the onus of Parliament not being functioning, on the opposition, saying that, we would have answered all these questions had they allowed us to function. But then the prime question always will come up, that had the government, allowed the opposition, had in fact answered the queries of the opposition pertaining to the book, which as Shavaji sort of pointed out, that it's been published but it's not been released. So there's a difference there. It's been published, and that the contents are in the public domain too. So had the government not shied away from it and had said that yes, we would sort of discuss these issues, and we have nothing to hide from anybody, in fact least of all the opposition MPs.
So you also
Then
feel, Rajlakshmi, that Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah, they were speaking in the House that day that ये book अभी published नहीं हुई है. So have they been proven wrong? What do you feel? If Rahul Gandhi walks up with the book that is published but not released, so is this like cornering Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah completely and also proving them false what they were saying inside the House?
No, yes, in a way, yes, because it's also see, because in these days, nothing much sort of can be sort of hidden in that sense. I mean, for that matter, the Epstein files are out. I mean, nothing is really hidden anymore, for whatever reason it be, and social media being what it is. So also it will be just, I think, a matter of days before the entire contents of the book are made available in some form or the other. Right now, we've only access to some excerpts, but then as the published book is out, and the author is I think, well, I think within his remit, and his domain to sort of publicize it, in whichever way
Right.
whichever way he deems fit. And he's no ordinary person.
Yeah.
He's a former army chief. So in fact, let's give him his due in that sense also, and sort of not to sort of rubbish all that is said, with a sweep, just because it doesn't suit, the government of the day. I mean, if there was nothing in the book, let the government say so. That there's
Right.
nothing in the book, and that, or that it's a tissue of lies, and that or that the army chief is not a credible entity. Okay, I'm saying let him come out with such things
Right.
also. So
Absolutely.
now it seems, and then now with the suspension of the MPs, the matter just, I mean, still hangs, in a limbo. I mean,
Oh,
it's
so
not.
you're saying
Yeah.
you are saying the BJP has made the matter worse for itself by now suspending the 8 MPs on this.
Well, in a sense, yes, also, but in a sense, it suits it also. It suits its purpose also by saying that they were being unruly, and
Okay.
then therefore we had to act, by the rule book.
Right.
So I wonder. I mean, maybe the tearing up of papers perhaps was an extreme step, and maybe the opposition should have sort of acted a little
Right.
bit more
You
circumspectly.
made an important point. Now, let me come to Shama because she has to leave also for another program. But while as we are live, I'm seeing this subject we are discussing is the top trending subject on Twitter. Rahul Gandhi waves General Naravane's memoir outside Parliament, accuses Modi of abandoning the troops. Now, my question to you, Shama, is that how will you seek accountability on this matter? Since now you all have proven that Prime Minister Modi abandoned the troops, it also punctures their nationalistic narrative, their patriotic narrative that we stand by the soldiers, come what may. How do you plan to now take this issue forward?
No, no. Did you not see how Rahul Gandhi took it on day two also? He could have gone it any other way, but he knows he's right, and we are not going to stop at it. We're going to continue asking the government answers on this as well as the Epstein files. See, just imagine if Rahul Gandhi's name had come up in these Epstein files. What would have happened today? You know,
Yeah.
what would have happened today? Or an Akhilesh Yadav's name was there. But you have the Prime Minister's name, and we want to know what was Epstein, a pedophile, advising the Prime Minister of India on? It's very important. And let's also understand one more thing. We need the trade deal out very clearly. See, we had trade deficit with Russia, with UAE trade deficit, with China trade deficit. But with US, we had a trade surplus of more than $80 billion. Now it's going to get into a trade deficit. Why should that happen? And that's why Trump came after us. Even the Russian oil at discounted price, the Turks are buying from them, the European Union is, the Chinese are. Why only on us the tariff of 25%? So he's bullying us, and Mr. Modi is getting bullied. He's not standing up to this bully. Now, as long as you don't, he is succumbing to this bully. Now, we want to know why he succumbed right now, is what is in these Epstein files. There must be some sort of blackmail, because this is like we got nothing, zero tariffs, 500 billion for them, India is going to do business there in technology, coal, all these things. So where, and agriculture, I'm worried if it's zero tariffs for agriculture here. It's never happened in the history of India, because we've always protected our farmers. Farming is one of our major income here for people. So where are we heading? And why not be transparent? You keep doing things, they never want to answer. Now, the Prime Minister was the other day telling his MPs to all attend Parliament, but he himself never attends. He's never there. He only comes to give speeches. I remember when we were accused of the 4G, 3G. I'm sorry, 2G. We've reached five, so 2G. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was there every day in Parliament, listening to what the opposition was saying and accusing us of. Of course, the Supreme Court came out and said there was no scam. But that is how he came to listen to it. Where is this Prime Minister? He comes as if he is this great Lord who has to give a sermon to us, comes to Parliament, gives a sermon, and leaves. Who does he think he is? So this Prime Minister must answer on Epstein files. He must answer on the trade deal, and he must answer on this book, because like the person from the journalist from Frontline said, that the army chief was writing it. Give respect to the army chief. Are you going to tie him up also? So let's give respect to people who have fought for this country. Let's understand that. They have fought for this country. And we can't leave our borders like this. We can't retreat. We can't put our Jawan's life in danger. And that is not done when you're beating your chest out there saying, we are the nationalists. Let's understand, if Indira Gandhi was here today, she wouldn't have bowed down before Trump.
Right. So
So
coming to yeah, go ahead. Go
is
ahead.
it the last
Yeah, yeah.
question? Because I have to rush.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I,
No,
can
so
I leave? Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Tell me.
Okay, okay, Shama. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks. Bye.
I'll come to Sarvesh, that what Shama was saying, Sarvesh. Now, the thing is, I was also watching a clip of General Naravane where he says that, I've written the book, I've done my bit. Now, jo hoga, so hoga. This is what the clip which is there on the social media. He said he's done his job. Now, do you think that he has really exposed the Modi government? I remember Satyapal Malik, because we've interviewed him earlier as well, and he had also spoken about some very unhidden secrets about the Pulwama, where he said that I urged the Modi government to give helicopters, which where I was refused by the defense ministry. So is this same kind of a moment here we are seeing, and now it's being done by General Naravane?
No, not exactly. See, I have read the book, the whole book. There's nothing the government should be this sort of scare they are having is unprecedented, because they one the thing is only thing that is a matter of contention here is the indecisive chain of command he's talking about. One I guess 4 to 5 lines are there
And you
where
feel that
he
Modi
says,
government doesn't want to project itself in that light, that being
yes, the
indecisive.
balloon, as Rahul Gandhi has said, that it is a balloon they have made up of crores of rupees infused, and Godi media has colored the days and nights in it, and they have put in so much of effort to spread the balloon, the bubble they have created in the country. So these 4 5 lines would pinch in it, and that is the thing, that is the concern they are having. Otherwise, I don't see a reason they would have stopped it. They would I don't see a reason they would have reviewed it. The book, they would have stopped the release of this book. The book has been written by a very decorated officer. He has written nothing nonsense in the book. It is a beautiful book, beautifully written book. And General Naravane is known to be a no nonsense person. Now also, when he's interviewed, he's only saying that I've done what I had to do. Now it is government who has to decide. But you see, a politician cannot decide better than a general what is right for the national security. If it is, we are talking about China. Rashtriya Adhyaksh Shri Akhilesh Yadav is also has pointed out that we are talking about China. Let us discuss this. China is a very big concern for the country. Otherwise, you are not going to discuss trade deal, you are not going to discuss China, you are not going to discuss infiltration, you are not going to discuss uh, terrorism. What exactly are you going to discuss? Why do we need a parliament then? For your jumlas, for your hate speeches. These the ministers or the parliamentarians like Nishikant Dubey, they only spread hate in the name of legislation in the parliament. So do we need a parliament for this? If you are going to be so autocratic, why do we need a parliament in the first place? Epstein files is a concern. We should have discussed it, and it had been dusted like anything. You say that it has nothing to do with the prime minister of the country. We want to know
Right.
what is the point of running away from this.
Right. No, but I'll come to to Rajalakshmi for the last question. That Rajalakshmi, do you think that will Prime Minister Modi or the Modi government, any representative from the Modi government or the minister is going to really answer on these questions on General Naravane's book or on Epstein files? Or even for that matter, the nitty gritties of the Indo-US deal, because Piyush Goyal himself has said that the deal is still being worked out, and once the technicalities have been fleshed out, then we'll do a joint when we'll issue a joint statement. So, what does it go to show? I mean, are we really going to see the government talking on this? And if they don't, then obviously the opposition will continue to raise their points. So, are we heading for a stalemate, a continuous stalemate in Parliament? I wouldn't call it a washout because it's a budget session which is going to face a truncated session, and then the second half again resumes. So, what are we looking at if you talk about the first half of the budget session?
See, I think, I think that the government should attempt to nip this in the bud, or so that it's either taken forward, because this kind of a stalemate, I don't think suits anybody, because it gives the impression that that the government is trying to escape from answering certain questions which have been posed by the opposition. It also doesn't show the opposition perhaps in a very flattering light. So I think all said and done, the government should find a way out. It should find a way out, because this is going to be a long session. It will, yes, it will be truncated because it's a budget session, but it will end, I think, sometime on April 2nd ultimately. So it's not that the opposition is going to sort of give up asking. I think this much the government should know, that the opposition is not going to sort of give up on either on the government sort of not answering the questions related to the book, and also on the finer aspects of the deal, of the US trade deal, and ultimately the opposition would like to know, in the interest of the country, as to what has India ultimately gained out of the tariffs, out of the deal, and if at all it is a good deal, in the sense
Right.
as it's been made out, because I don't think it's going to be a very great deal at the end of it, because if the US is going to sort of dump its agricultural products here, I mean here, and it's not just about exempting dairy, it's about other
Do you
other
also feel the
products.
opposition will let the House function as long as these MPs remain suspended and as long as LOP is not allowed to speak? Now, imagine
Yeah.
it's an president's address, a motion of thanks which is being discussed, and the LOP not being allowed. I mean, which itself, in its own way, is so unprecedented. So, what kind of a budget session will it be?
Yes, I think that the government should come forward, perhaps call an all-party meeting. I don't know. I mean, how it plans to do it, or unless it just wishes that the whole parliament session be a washout. I mean, it has passed all the bills that it needed to pass, whether it's a BB Ramji or whether it's a big. I mean, I think the VBSA bill is still pending, the one on higher education. But then the other things that it always that it wanted to legislate on have been, I think, more or less. But it's on, because I think the onus is on, on the government, Nilu, as I said, to allow parliament to function. It can't really set terms to the opposition, that or that conditions that we will, or that parliament will be allowed to function if you behave, if you conduct yourself in a particular way, or if you ask the questions that we want you to ask. It's not going to function that way. It's not going to. The opposition is going to ask certain questions. The government, I think, will have to answer it. And the solution, doesn't lie in suspending MPs from parliament, because that's only going to worsen things. I mean, ultimately, in fact, the government is going to be shown, in in poor light, because it has done this before also. It has suspended MPs, before also. So, so the image and the perception goes that this is a government that does not want to discuss important issues in front of parliament, in front of the people, and it does not want certain aspects to come to light. Deals are signed and they are sort of announced on the social media. In fact, when parliament was in session, it was announced on social media. So which makes it all the more sort of dubious in that sense.
Right.
And how are deals like this arrived at? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are no formal channels. For instance, why weren't formal channels explored? I mean, as it's normally done,
Right.
instead of President Trump announcing it, and then it's like a fait accompli. We have to follow suit. Or I mean, if you do not agree, then obviously the consequences will be bad.
Yeah.
Will be worse. So
Right.
yeah.
All right, so we'll have to see what happens in Parliament tomorrow, and will there be some sort of a consensus? Will there be some sort of a dialogue between the Treasury benches and the opposition? We'll have to wait and watch. Thank you so much, Sarvesh Tripathi, Raj Lakshmi. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank you.